How do you say it? Totaling? She totaled out my brand new car. Yeah, she totaled out my brand new car. Alright, what's good, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Miss Melanin Built, and I'm back with a video. I got my A1 Day 1 in the background. Say hey, Nick.
Hey.
Okay, we're going to be doing a story time today while I sip on. Before we get into it, let's get this video to 50 likes. That's all I'm asking for. Just give me the 50 likes. You can leave your comments down below because I'm pretty sure y'all going to have some. But keep in mind that shit happens. Life is real. I'm a real one, and that's just what it is. Alright, so let's get into this video. Before I start, you already know my melanin is popping. Hey, yo, melanin is popping. Hey, our melanin is pop. Hold still. It's popping. Hey. Alright. Let's get into it. I'm going to do my story time today on how my cousin ended up totaling. How do you say it? Totaling? She totaled out my brand new car. Yeah, she totaled out my brand new car. Reason why I'm doing this video today is because I want to leave all the negativity, all the drama, all the shenanigans, and everything else you can think of that's on the negative side. I want to leave that in 2019. So I know you guys are probably seeing this on the 1st. Excuse me. You guys are probably going to see this on the 1st, but it was recorded beforehand, and I want to leave it where it's at. I want to tell this story one last time. I want to share it with you guys, and you guys are more than welcome to leave me comments down below what you think. Hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's get into the video. Okay, so long story short, one morning the kids were getting ready for school, and they just did not want to get it together this morning. They didn't want to listen. They didn't want to get dressed. They didn't want to do anything. So they ended up getting in trouble, and I popped them. Now, when I say a pop, I literally just mean stop that. Go in there and get dressed type of pop. I didn't beat them. For one, I don't even whip my kids. They barely get in trouble. I mean, the most that's gonna happen, or the most that they probably get is give me your phone, give me the game, stay in the room all day, or you know, something of that sort. But I do not beat my children. Anybody that knows me know that that is the last thing that you will ever get coming from me. I'm a big softie. I'm a big marshmallow, and the sad part is my kids know it. Anyway, my kids go off to school, and later on in the day, I find out that that the CPS, well, the police officers came and took my son with them away from school because he went and told his teachers that I beat him. Mind you, I did nothing of the sort. Nowhere near. I literally popped him on his butt and said, go in that room and put your clothes on. Literally, that's all it was. My dad goes to get the kids from school, as usual, and he picking up the girls, and he's like, well, do you have your son? And I'm like, well, no. And he's like, well, I can't find him. Next thing I know, he's just like, I just drove past the house, and CPS is at the house. So I've never dealt with any type of, like, I don't deal with that type of stuff. I've heard of families, you know, dealing with the CPS and all that, was a child protective custody people, whatever, services, whatever. I've heard of people, you know, people calling them on people, but I've never experienced anything like this in my life. Like, my family didn't deal with that type of stuff, at least not on my dad's side, not on my dad's side. And I grew up with my grandmother. My dad's mother raised me, okay? So, from all the bad stories that I've ever heard, it was just like, oh, well, I heard when they come to the house, they take all your kids. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to give you a chance to take all my kids when, for one, I didn't do anything wrong. And two, you're going to take my daughters as well as my son for some crap that my son, that my 6-year-old, what was he, 5-6-year-old son said to you. Like, I'm not saying don't believe kids, but at the same time, you got to take certain stuff that little kids say with a grain of salt, because they think they in trouble because you raised your voice, or because they're in trouble because you took their game from them, or it's petty stuff like that. So my first mind was I'm not taking my daughters home for CPS to get my daughters when that's not fair. You know what I mean? So I told my cousin, my daughters and two of my cousins, as well as myself, was in my car. Okay. I told my cousin, like, look, I don't know what's going on. I don't know how this works. I'm not letting my daughters go to the house. Do me a favor. Take them to the park. Go straight to the park. Mind you, straight from my grandmother's house, or she lived on 84th. She moved down, but she lived on 84th, near Avalon. Okay. There's a park on, what is that? San Pedro and 87th or something like that. Straight shot. Boom. Right there. Boom, boom. You're at the park. Okay. It's not even a whole 2 minutes from my house. Told my cousin, go to the park. Stay there until I call you with the code word. Okay. Get in there. Talk to the people. I find out that the police have my son. And, they want to talk to me before they'll bring him back. So they finally bring him back, and she's talking to him. She comes back, and she's like, I guess they had to do the whole routine thing. They want to go through each room in the house. They want to make sure it's hot water, running water. They want to make sure you have food in your house. They want to see where everybody sleep and, what clothes they have and all that. And boom, feel free. You're more than welcome. House stay full of food. Everything was clean. There's food in the kitchen. There's running hot water. Everybody had a bed. There was nothing wrong with anything. And after she talked to my son, she was just like, I'm going to throw this case out as soon as I can, because I clearly see what type of mother that you are. And all I can do was cry, because it's like, dude, I worship my children. I know there's a lot of mothers out there that can care less about their kids, that drop their kid off and just won't call and check on them and won't even worry about if they ate today. But I'm not like that. I'm like I'm about to cry. Hold on. I need to sit. Nick! Y'all gotta excuse me.
You got it.
Okay.
You been up.
Okay. Anybody that know me knows that I would die for my kids. Anybody that knows me knows that. I would give my last for them. I would give them the shirt off my back. I love my babies with every pound of me. And as y'all can see, it's a whole lot of pounds. So it kind of hurt me for my baby, my son, my only son, to go to school and tell his teacher that I beat him. Like, dude, you don't even get in trouble. You barely get popped. I can count on one hand out of the whole, past 4 years, how many times you actually got popped. And I do literally mean popped. Like, boom, go sit down, go get dressed. Like, literally. And I just felt so betrayed by my baby, and it was horrible. Anyway, had a case open, and she, talked to the kids, and she talked to my son, and then she wanted to talk to my daughters to kind of confirm what was going on. And I'm like, well, they're not here right now. And I'm getting off subject. Let me get it together. Okay. I told my cousin, hey, gave her the called her, gave her the safe word, like, hey, come on back. And, just come on back. Everything is cool. They want to talk to him. Come back. Last thing I said to her before I hung up the phone was, hey, be careful, but just come on back to the house. She said, okay. That girl went off my phone 5 minutes before she called in a panic, screaming like, P, you got to come down here now. You got to come over here. We just had a car accident. I'm like, dude, are you serious? She's like, yeah, I'm serious. We just had a car accident. And she's trying to explain to me, no, are my daughters okay? You have my daughters in my car. Are they okay? Yeah, they're fine, but click, I hung up. I tell the social worker people, like, look, I know you may not believe me, but they just got into a car accident. You guys can follow me over there if you want to for proof, but I'm leaving with or without your permission. Like, I'm leaving. I got to go to my daughters. So they give me my son, and I rushed down the corner. They was on, Florence and San Pedro. And I get to the car accident, and you ever seen those movies where they're so dramatic and they just drop in the middle of the street and they're like screaming, no! That's pretty much what I did. Once I saw that my daughters were okay, they were standing over to the corner and they were just crying just because they were shooken up. Once I saw they were okay, and I looked back at my car, my brand new car, my Kia Sorento, 3 rows, fully stocked. I mean, my heart was broke. And I looked over at my baby, and her poor little face was just smashed to pieces. And then I can remember screaming and crying. And every time the cars would go past, I would scream because they were running over my car pieces. And I was having a fit. All I could do was scream and cry. And like, look at this picture right here. Do y'all see the way she looked? I mean, that's the way she looks. That's what she looked like once, you know, they were sitting up at the tow yard for a while. But man, like seeing all the pieces on the ground and hanging from the car and all smashed in, like my heart was so broke. And like after everything was said and done, mind you, it was the same weekend. I was giving my grandmother a surprise party the very next day, so you can imagine the funky mood that I was in that next day, trying to celebrate her birthday / retirement party. Like that whole weekend was just horrible. Like so much was taken from me in just those couple of hours, between child services being called, my cousin totaling out my brand new car that I've only had for a few months. On top of that, I had just missed I switched bank accounts, and so I forgot to make sure that I switched it over with the bank. So I had just missed my payment. I mean, switched it over with the car people. So I just missed my car insurance payment, and it lapsed. So there was no getting it fixed. There was no, getting it paid off or any of that. I was just shit out of luck, and now I'm still paying for a car that I don't have at all. My cousin she kept saying, oh, I'm going to try to pay you something each month until you pay it off. I'm going to help you pay it off. She never did any of that. She was staying with me. Her and my other cousin was staying with me at the current time when it happened. And they ended up leaving the house. And I've talked to her maybe once since then. Like literally, like it was pretty much just fuck me. She just left and that was it. I was stuck with that bill. And mind you, I was doing Uber at the time. I'm a stay-at-home mom, and I do my own little thing. You know what I mean? I was doing Uber. I craft. I do my own little thing. That's how I make money. And she took my job as well as my car away from me, and it was just horrible. But I have to give it up to God. I really do. I give all the praises to the Most High, because even though I felt like that was the worst thing in the world at that time, everything happens for a reason. I didn't see why he allowed that to happen right then, but after some time passed, I most definitely found out why. Because he opened the door for me, and that door led me to us having our own place. We was able to move out of my grandmother's house, and that car note that I was paying, I wouldn't have been able to afford both. A brand new car, paying $700. I was paying, between the car note and my insurance, I was paying $750 every month. That's a lot. And I know y'all gonna be like, well, that's too much. That was really, really high. But I mean, I felt like I had the money at the time. I was making it. Everything was fine, and I was able to pull my weight. So, I was just doing what I thought was best at the time. But came the first of the year, a really, really good friend of mine's husband gifted us a Escalade truck. Like literally, I got over there and he was like, oh, they thought I was coming to borrow a car. And so when he gave me the keys, he also gave me an envelope. But I'm like, what is this? And he was just like, oh, that's your pink slip. Excuse me? He's like, here, that's your pink slip to your truck. I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, those are your keys, and that's your pink slip to your truck. And I was just stuck. Like, you're gonna give me the truck? Like, I don't have the money right now to pay for the truck. He said, did I ask you to pay me for the truck? And I'm like, no. He's like, I'm giving you the truck for your kids. And I'm like, no strings attached. Here you go. All I could do was cry. Like, I've had some really good people in my life, like some really, really good people. And for him to just do that for me, like, that was just unbelievable. But yeah, that's my story time for today. CPS, totaled out brand new car. Lost my job. That's what it was. But hey, everything happens for a reason. And now I can sit back and say that I'm glad that it happened. I hate the way that it happened, but everything happened for a reason, and I can appreciate it now. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please stay tuned for my next one. Watch some previous ones. Leave your comments down below. Go to my Instagram. Like a few pictures over there. Leave some messages, or just join the family. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Love you. See you until next time.